watched the Oregon film this morning, evaluated that with the players, and then actually moved quite quickly into our next challenge, which is going up to Seattle and playing a really good University of Washington team. So there were some good things on the tape, and there were some things that we have to improve on. It's really kind of the same approach each week, whether you win or you lose, is you go back and you try to remove the emotion from it and look at it practically and pragmatically and see what you're doing well and how you can improve those things and what you continue to need to improve on and work hard at those things. So that's really what we did, and that's what we do every week. And then you get together and you start creating, a new plan for the next opponent, and that's where we are right now. So.
Did it seem like when you watched the film as big of a step forward for the defense as it maybe initially appeared with the takeaways and some of the stops?
We played a lot better and we kept them out of the end zone, and but there's still a ton of room for improvement. We still didn't tackle as well as we can tackle. We didn't fit up the run as well as we can fit up the run. So what I was excited about was the energy and the effort they played with. And so I did see a noticeable jump there. And we want to continue to play that way and then just keep working on being technically sound and being a better tackling defense. And when we do those things, then we can start, making, significant improvements.
You had a couple of guys who left with pretty serious injuries. Is there anything you can say about those guys?
Matt Dickerson is having surgery tomorrow on his collarbone. Going to have a plate put in there, and he'll be out for quite a while. Other than that, I think
Josh Woods.
Those guys all have a chance to come back. Okay. Yeah, and Matt's the only one that doesn't really have a chance right now.
Okay.
Everyone else has a chance to come back.
Rick Wade didn't play last week.
He hurt his knee. Remember, he hurt his knee the week before, but he has a chance to be back this week as well. So, all those guys, they're fighting their way back onto the field. Jaylen Starks, Austin. Breland now he's still in the concussion protocol. That it's affected him, and it's unfortunate, and feel bad for him. I just want to make sure that he's healthy mentally, that he's emotionally ready before he comes back. And those are the things you just don't play with. You just don't, and they affect every young man differently. And this one has affected him pretty significantly. And so right now, I think what's most important for Breland is that he feels comfortable and that he continues to put his energy into his academics, and then we'll see where he is with regards to football later on. So there's no timetable there.
Tuioti Mariner had internal injuries, but
he seems to be okay. Very precautionary. Our medical staff's outstanding, and with these guys, we're always going to err on the side of making sure that we, do everything we can to ensure that there's, no chance of further damage. We're not going to put him back on the field, when we don't know what the issue is. And so they got him to the hospital, and they did a tremendously thorough examination of him, and they released him that night. And I talked to him on Saturday night, and he was feeling a lot better. He looked good yesterday, and this morning he looked very normal and said he felt great. So I'm not sure what the plan will be with him tomorrow with regards to practice, but he seems like he's going to be okay. So.
Is there any chance that Dickerson comes back this season?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, there is. Yeah, with what the procedure they're going to do, there's a chance. I don't want to say that it's 50% or 60 or 75, but there is a chance.
What did you like about the young guys who kind of stepped up in their absences, and what you like about them going forward?
Well, I talked about offense first of all. When Austin Roberts went out, following Caleb being not available. It was great to see Jordan Wilson step up and make some plays. I think he had 4 catches, and then he had one that he should have caught, that he would have caught, that he will catch. But it was good to see him go out there and really play with confidence. And then the other young guys were mostly on defense. Greg Rogers went in and played really well and had a heck of a play on that 4th down stop, to get into the backfield and kind of create a little disruption. I thought that Martin Andrus gave us some good snaps, and then Keyshawn, moving from really a defensive end to an inside linebacker position in the middle of the game, did some really good things. Chris Barnes wasn't available to us, as you know. He wasn't suited up. And then when Josh got hurt, Keyshawn had to go and do that, and he did a great job. It was good to see Colin Samuels out there getting significant playing time and making a really good play on a deep ball. So, anytime you can get young guys time and they can learn and you can get a win, that's a great thing. You know, if they're having to play and they're struggling and you lose, they're still learning, but you're taking your lumps along the way. So it's a positive.
It looked like Moses Robinson-Carr got in for a snap there before the Andrews touchdown in the fourth quarter. What went into that decision to put him in the game at that time?
Oh, he's been playing the last couple of weeks actually. Yeah, so he's been getting time. So that's his package on offense. Yeah, he's been playing on special teams now for a number of weeks.
You guys, I think, are 29 of 33 red zone efficiency. I believe that's the number.
Is that touchdowns or scoring?
24 touchdowns, 5 field goals, something like that, out of 33 chances. So a very high conversion rate. Have you been happy with that, and what's been kind of the key to that?
Yeah, I think our we always kind of look at red zone touchdown percentage, but also scoring as well. Of the two, you'd like the touchdown percentage more so than the scoring, but we've been effective actually on both sides of the ball in the red zone. And defensively, when they get down there, the objective is to keep them off the board, but at the very minimum, hold them to threes, and we've been pretty good there. And then offensively, we've been punching it in or getting the field goals, but we're always trying to get the ball in the paint. That's the thing. So, but yeah, we work hard at it, and I think we're making some improvements offensively, and I think so defensively as well. Those become very important.
You've had a lot of success on the road here, but not this season. Is there any? Is that just a function of this team, or is there anything that you can pinpoint?
I wish I could tell you. We really haven't changed anything in terms of our routine. It's been a little discombobulated this year, going to Memphis. Nothing I can put my finger on, and we're looking for everything. The thing that we try to do is create consistency within the last 24 hours leading up to kickoff, and it's a little bit difficult on the road, a little bit more difficult, but we just have to play better. I think what you have to do is eliminate all the noise, the stuff that doesn't matter, and just focus on what happens on the field and not get caught up in the environment, and be able to play through less than successful plays, when you kind of get reeling and then the crowd gets into it and your mind starts to go too fast, and just be able to settle down and play to play. And we haven't been as good as we have been in the past this year on the road in doing that.
After the game, Coach Fish said that Alex Van Dyke requested a move to tight end last Tuesday. What do you think of the snaps that he played? I know he didn't have a target, but just blocking-wise and stuff like that.
He's going to get better and better. It's great to see Alex say, hey, how can I expand my role? How can I help the team? That's how he is. That's how a lot of guys on our team are. They're just unselfish, and they're really willing to step up and do anything. And so, as he gets more work in there, kind of as that H-back position, more of a, not an on-the-line tight end, but off the line, I think he can create a matchup problem because he's got size and length, and he can run well. And, teams will have to decide how they want to defend him. So I'm sure we'll just continue to kind of expand his role as he learns more and more.
Did Arizona State show anything that other teams can use for counteracting Washington?
Well, they stopped the run and they rushed the passer well without pressuring. They had a lot of couple three-man rush sacks. Washington hasn't been sacked very often, but I think they've been sacked 9 times, I believe, and I don't know exactly, so it's somewhere in there. Do you have it? And and I think that 7 of them have come on just 3 or 4 man rushes, kind of coverage sacks type stuff. And Arizona State did a really good job of getting the quarterback on the run, but that started with stopping the run. So and then offensively, it was a gritty, grind them out kind of effort by both offenses, Arizona State's and Washington. And I think Arizona State ended up having 32 carries for 40 yards, but they committed to the run. And they made some plays and they shortened the game for their defense and got some turnovers. They just did a nice job.
Being so thin at linebacker, would you consider kind of putting Brandon Burton in, and how's he doing in that switch? I know he just switched in the spring.
Yeah, eventually. He's been hurt, so he's missed the last couple games with a knee injury. So he hasn't gotten any work. You were always trying to find the best position for a guy and for his body type and his athleticism. And right now, Brandon's a little bit of a tweener, but that's okay in the Pac-12. it's okay to have athletes that are, you know, kind of in between the linebacker safety position, because they can play down in the box and give you some things. It's just right now getting him through his injury, because he's a very good football player. He's very smart, who is, you know, he's on the leadership council, that, you know, he's very dependable. It's just he's been hurt, you know, and I know that's really frustrating for him, and it's frustrating for us.